fell illustrated in my TED presentation. Seriously. It's completely fine actually. I've been doing that for 30 years. I'm dyslexic. And my name is Prranav and I'm a dyslexic entrepreneur and a content creator. We'll talk about CA today, and I show you something. Can you see that kid in the middle? That kid is full of fears, full of uncertainties. Because my report cards in school were full of things like needs more attention or passed with grace marks. So yes, my school system almost broke me down. And my Hindi teacher even said that your kid will never succeed in life to my parents. What can be worse than that? So I used to feel like the black sheep in the class because our school systems are designed like one size fit all. And this reminds me of a saying that goes like, if you compare a fish to climb a tree, if you judge a fish to climb the tree, you will always be disappointed. And if you ask the bird to swing, you'd break its wings. So that is something I relate the most when it comes to schools because it did that to me. As every movie has a hero and Amir Khan thing to rescue Ishan, someone came to rescue me luckily. And I'll also tell you how my Hindi teacher was absolutely right and also completely wrong at the same time. I was rescued by my mother. Can you see that face? How did she? I'm sorry, I get overwhelmed with that. Can you see how she's looking at me with that unconditional love? But when the world was when my class, when my peers were leaving hope in me, she was full of hope, courage, and faith, everything all together. She gave me hope. And that is the role of my mother in my life because my dyslexia was invisible to her. She never saw me technically, she always saw me emotionally, and her gut feel and intuition for me was too strong. That gave me hope in life. And we see Einstein, Steve Jobs, and Richard Branson all had dyslexia, and their mothers came to rescue them. We hardly know their mothers, by the way. Had she not rescued me, I would have never seen this day. I 10th, 3rd, and 10th board exams because my mother struggled. Thank you. This kid was struggling with grace marks. My mother struggled with me. She found me 3 teachers and brought me on to personal tuitions, made me switch from Hindi to Sanskrit, because that was a fresh start. And for a dyslexic, if I can learn slow, I can do very well. And that worked for me. And these teachers became mentors to me, and that was the turning point of my life. Everything turned around. That was the new start to Prranav. So for me, my dyslexia is not a problem. It is my superpower, and I consider it as a growth mindset. Because when there is one line, I see 5 possibilities out of that. I don't see that one solution. I find 5 more. That is my superpower. With that confidence in school where I didn't gain marks, I gained confidence. I started to explore entrepreneurship. I went into computer science engineering, but I wanted to do something bigger in life because I was helped by people. I started my entrepreneurial journey with this thing called Jagriti Yatra 2012, second year in college. I enrolled for Jagriti Yatra, which is a 15-day train journey. 12 destinations across India. You meet entrepreneurs in these 12 destinations and learn from them. And the seed of entrepreneurship was sown at this time. And that is when I knew that I had to do something bigger in life. And I started my journey. After college, being a computer science engineer, I knew I need to learn more things to be an entrepreneur, not just coding. I started my first job at Go and Revo. I joined, which is now also known as Make My Drip. They sort of joined hands. I started my job as an intern, got promoted, worked for 10 months, and got this award called the Rockstar Performer Award, and I resigned. I was handling a huge budget in mobile marketing. My boss got confused what happened because this could have motivated me to stay longer, but I knew that I had learned what I wanted to. I saw what I wanted to see, and I wanted to start something finally. And this very funny thing that happened. I resigned. My boss tried to stop me. I didn't. He asked me, what's the plan? What's the story? What are you going to do? He saw the conviction in me. And you won't believe it. Next week, my boss, VP marketing at Go resigned. He became my first co-founder. Me. Thank you. The CEO of the Libro still remembers me in the car. The Pedro was an intern in 10 months, took his VP marketing. And I started my first startup in the food tech space in Gurgaon. We created home makers into home chefs. 100 home chefs across Gurgaon, 200 meals per day through mobile application back in 2015, 16. This was something very innovative, very good. People liked it because people were fed up of restaurant food. Everything was going fine, but inventory management, a lot of things backfired because once the food is made, it either gets wasted or sold. So we made losses and we couldn't get profit again, so we had to close it down. But this failure again taught me a lot of things. This failure taught me how to build a startup from scratch, from ground up. But when I knew that I had learned my lessons because this failure taught me how to execute things. So it's a building block from where I started in school. And I finally knew how to be an entrepreneur. Then I finally started something I always wanted to do because my teachers and my mentors helped me in school. I knew I wanted to be like them. I wanted to help people out. I created this mobile application which was called Free Joy. It was something that we were helping people through a listener ecosystem. Master psychology students, we were training them to be listeners. I had a co-founder who was doing a little PhD from AIIMS. And the thing is, this is something which helped a lot of people. Around 20,000 people were helped through this application. It was going really great, and this is something which is my way from grace marks to entrepreneur in residence because Fija took me places. We did one of those. I was invited at IIN Ahmedabad for entrepreneurship fair. We did really well and we got a lot of applications for internship. We had interns from IIN Ahmedabad and IIN Indore, which was a great achievement for me because we were keeping work like that. I was incubated at IIN Udaipur as entrepreneur in residence and we got government funding which is called ESR. And we were also incubated at IIT Madras. All this is something which was motivating, but there was a problem again. In India, today, mental health is a taboo, a stigma. People wanted the services for free. So we had to hold it and pivot. So that is where, because for me, I don't stop. I keep on finding paths. I know the vision that I'm heading for. The path will keep on changing, but the failure doesn't stop me. I started my podcast. It's called The Godfrey Show. Like my mother's gut feel was very strong for me, and I believe in intuition because I've been driving my life through intuition and gut feel. And you must have heard this saying, and Steve Jobs said, but your heart and your intuition knows what you really want to become. Everything else is secondary. That is very, very crucial and very important for me, and I think it is for everyone. Also, 1 year later, Toyota India does not collaborate because they don't need to. But I had an idea, and when I have an idea, I'm very persistent and resilient. I approached VP Kirloskar India, Toyota Kirloskar India, pitched the idea that I need a Toyota Hilux for 10 days, and I'm going to do something crazy. After 6 months of pursuing, he agreed because my idea actually he was crazy. I told him I go to Ladakh and I'll do a podcast with Sonam Wangshu because he's very unapproachable. And I did that. He was my idol because he speaks about the education system like no one else. The podcast was about the education system, and you know about his school, SECMOL, Student Education Cultural Movement of Ladakh. The criteria for joining that school is that you should be 10th fail. That was something so inspiring, and I met those students. Those students are doing crazy stuff. Beyond that, I've met a lot of great people in all walks of life, inspiring people who change makers, Prashant Desai, to Major General Yash Paramosa, to Peter Redu, to People Baba, to one of the favorite of mine, which is Major DP Singh. Why is he my favorite? Because that's a turnaround story. I hope some of you know that he was the victim of Kargil war attack, and a bomb blasted next to him, and he was
on deathbed. Everything, almost everything was damaged. He even lost a leg. Always declared dead once.
But did that stop him? No, that's it. He holds a Lilka Book of World Record. He's India's first blade runner and he wins marathons. That's a turnaround story and truly limitless potential. And that's very close to me because I is also about to fall apart in the education system. Our education system never accepted me. So my idea is that where fear is not your problem, is not your enemy. It can be your agent to change and it can be your agent to limitless potential because the fear is here to unlock the new you.
It brings out that change that you always needed.
Also, my Hindi teacher was absolutely right because had I said the old me, I would have failed. But I never did. I kept on evolving, I kept on changing. And one more very important thing that I would like to close with is that failure for me is not a pothole and I fall in and I stop and I stay. Failure for me is a trampoline. I boil, I jump, and I bounce back even harder. Thank you.